zoom and then zoom into YouTube. Setting up your zoom and then zoom into YouTube. See what I'm saying? And so now this is playing in the background. Oh, let me mute this. Boom. Now I'm here. Okay. I guess I'm good. I don't know. I hope so. So I'm not hearing the echo. So I think I'm good. But I see why that's confusing. Because if you start off in Chrome and then it sent me over to Zoom, and then Zoom was like, hey, go back and sign into Safari. And I'm like, what? Where we at? And then Safari is like, all right, we're gonna send you right back to Zoom. And I'm over in Zoom. I'm like, wait, am I in Zoom in the app or Zoom inside Safari? Or did y'all put me back to Zoom back inside the anyhow, we back. So I'm gonna share this video. I want to share this screen. Excuse that little interruption, but don't worry. I love you still. Okay. Desktop one, I'm gonna share this. And I want you all to see this here. Not that. Damn. Bro. There we go, this guy. This is hilarious. Okay, I want to hear your opinions on this. I think this is actually critical. I think it's very on time for what people are going through right now. And I think it's important that we all hear it and evaluate it.
Getting in this car until you come and open the door for me. I'm a lady.
No, I get that, but you're already standing there now. It's not like I can, I can, but you're there. So I'm just saying, since you're there, I've already opened it. Just get.
Okay. So this is why it's so important. This is why it's so critical to see both sides of the story. I didn't mean to stop his face looking like a total creep right there. Let me give him so. There we go. Okay. Now this is why it's important to hear both sides, hear one, the full story, and two, both sides of the story as much as possible. Because right now, here's what you're hearing, right? Let's have this. Two things. One, there's male side, and this is just a way to have better communication with one another, right? It's very easy to think that someone just knows what you're thinking. It's very easy to be from a narcissistic standpoint, a perspective of this person should know better, or this is not something worth talking about. Everything is worth the conversation, especially when you have the world at large who are encouraging a lack of communication. So it's critical that we actually have good communication. So in this case, I've made a male side here, I've made a female side over there, right? Now, first off, the man, let's just give him the things that we observe. He's driven, right? Wherever he's at, wherever he's coming from, he drove there, right? He did not. He did not open the door. Now, this is important.
Doors. So
Now, she has set a standard. What she said is that standard, open the door. Excuse me. Now, I want you to keep these points in mind as we go forward. Now, I'm not going to go down the list of these things, but I want you to keep these in mind because it get too long and too drawn out for me to do that himself, for me to do it myself. But keep this in mind. He's driven. Her standard is that the door must be open.
Open the door for me.
So I drove 30 minutes to get here, and I'm here. I turned on the heater, everything.
Now, keep his mind. He's saying that he's driven 30 minutes to come there. So that to me says that he has some bent up aggression about the fact that he had to drive 30 minutes to go somewhere. Perhaps there's something there that is irritating him. You understand how when you look at it from a different perspective, why would he have the position that he has, not just the position that she has? We understand that she's saying she's setting a real standard that her door must be open. We're also understanding that this man has not gotten out to do that. I'm not saying he's right or wrong in that. What I am saying is evaluate the situation for what it is. Understand both sides of the story, and you two will become a better human, a better communicator. with your partner.
Even the date we're going on is me that we pay. You see, I will pay and I'll bring you back. So the least you can do is come and sit down. I'm offering you free seats. No.
I'm not getting in the car.
Kind of.
Thank you.
No. This one is Wahala. We've never started.
Okay. I'm going to pause here for a second. Now, remember, you have this list in your mind of what's going on the left side, what's going on the man's side and the female side. She stood her standard that she wanted the door to be opened. He stated that he had driven, not just driven, but he had driven 30 minutes. So he made a real effort in his mind. Now, I also want to take a look at the mannerism, at the clothes that he's wearing, the shoes that he's wearing. Now, I don't know about the generation, but in my opinion, this man did not come dressed for a first date. In my opinion, this man didn't put much energy at all into coming out, representing himself in a way that was, I'm trying to impress this woman. So I would say that's indicative of his behavior in not getting out to open the door. Not saying he should have or should not have. I would have, because that's the kind of person that I am. However, I understand the man said he feels like he's gone above and beyond thus far. So let's see.
Thank you for being a gentleman.
You're able to stay. It's just normal.
Thank you.
Okay. And I want to pause on this because here's the real issue. The real issue is that she's recording this entire thing. So regardless of his mannerism, regardless of the way he dressed, right? She's recording this whole thing. So that's number one. That's a huge red flag for any man. For any man to see that happening, he should have driven off to begin with. So that's another flag against this man. He should have, seeing that he was being recorded, had enough self-respect, enough honor, integrity to say, no, I'm not going to be made a fool of, knowing that someone has a camera out on you. It's not for good news. It's for something separate, right? Something different. Maybe nefarious. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in today. So at this point, naturally, he's offended.
I'm ready now.
You know what? Don't worry.
So the I'm ready now, that was really an extra jab. That to me felt like she was telling her friends what she had done. And this is exactly why she's recording. To advertise to the world, this is who I am. This is the princess treatment that I get from whatever man that I date. This is why she's documenting this. So she really is putting him into a position of shame, is what you would call this. So that's definitely something negative against women for sure. What I'm doing is just showing you both sides of the story perspective. So you understand how a man would see this and you understand how a woman would see this. Now, whether you believe the man is right or whether you believe the woman is wrong, that's up to you. But this is worth a conversation because from her perspective, she's doing everything right. But the reality is, from a man's perspective, she started off wrong because she's recording. He made the distance. He drove 30 minutes for sure. That's an effort. He opened the door from the inside. Granted, he could have done better. The way he dressed, honestly, he could have represented himself better. I can't call it because I don't know what this generation looks like. Maybe that's the way you go out today, and that's okay on dates. I mean, I look at what women wear these days, and those are things we wouldn't have worn to the beach, without all eyes on you, not too long ago. So I don't know what fashion looks like, but it looks to me like he didn't put in a lot of effort. So it seems as though she's wanting a greater effort from a man who really doesn't have that level of effort in himself. So that would then be a strike against her because why then are you putting time into this man if clearly he doesn't put the time into himself?
Come out.
Are you serious?
No, just come out because I don't think this. No, come, just come out.
Are you serious right now?
No, come.
And so now, this man has landed on his own level of self-respect and deep honor. Complicated, right? Which side am I on? I'm right down the middle. I'm showing you. At this point, he's landed where she should have landed. He's doing what she should have done from the very beginning. Instead of recording, When he pulled up, and notice, there is enough blame to go around. When he pulled up and wouldn't open that door, if she truly respected herself and didn't want to make a spectacle of it, she would have simply turned around and went back inside. That's what a woman would do. That's how a woman would handle would handle that situation. A girl would document it. A girl would document it. There's no need for documentation on this. Just handle yourself like a woman. And boys like this will soon become men. But at this point, this boy made a choice that a man would make of self-respect. He felt as though he was being so disrespected because of her mannerisms and the way in which she was teaching him how to treat her. Now, as a man, I can tell you, I appreciate that she was teaching him how to treat her. However, she was absolutely wrong in her delivery. See, if her delivery had been, baby, aren't you going to open the door for me? If she had killed him with love, if she had killed him with kindness, if she had killed him with feminine, he would have submitted. He would have done everything perfect that night, according to her, had she just accessed her feminine divine instead of moving in rather her more masculine. Still feminine in her standard, but her delivery is more masculine than it should be. You understand how just that shift in perspective and walk and the way in which you move, your mannerisms, it makes the world a better place. He could have chosen respect and honor by saying, I'm not going to be treated this way by this woman. She could have chosen respect and honor by saying, I'm not going to be treated this way by this man. Both chose to tolerate each other to a level of where finally he decided he was going to pull the lever on respect and say, no, I'm not going to let this go any further. So let's hear what else he has to say.
I'll tell you something.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something. I'm very confused. How I drove to this place. I came to pick you up. You could have met me there. I will also pay.
Listen to what he just said. I drove to this place. 30 minutes. You could have met me there. That's important. Because him saying you could have met me there means now his outfit makes sense. This entire movement seems rebellious. Even the way he dressed seems rebellious. So the standard that she put on him, it sounds to me like you're going to come pick me up as well. It makes sense. She put a demanding standard on him of you're going to open the door. So she's been teaching him how to treat her from the very beginning. And because this is outside of the way that he likes to navigate, he's showing like a child, honestly. To me, it looks like he's rebelling in the way his dress, his mannerism, his flip-flops, his sucking his teeth, his rolling his eyes. He could have had a higher standard. And in having his own higher standard, he would have met the woman with the right standard. And there would have been no friction as there is now. So this here is simply a argument between, it feels like, two adolescents trying to decide on who's the bigger adult and who has more self-respect. In the end, it comes down to the one that pulled the trigger.
Going minimum $200 that I will spend. I have to beg you to get in a car. It's not like I can't open.
All I was asking is that you just open the door.
It's not like I can't open door. It's just that you already standing. I opened the door twice. Don't worry. You know, sometimes.
Where are you going?
You just be avoiding problem.
Where are you going?
I'm getting in my car. I'm opening my door by myself.
Are you serious? I just wanted you to be a gentleman.
No, don't worry. He's like, enjoy your night.
Enjoy your night.
Is he freaking serious right now?
So that I don't climb on your leg.
Where are you going?
Okay, well. Oh, I was sharing. Please tell me I was sharing. Okay. No. Okay. I'm gonna clearly I'm new at this. So if you stayed around to look at that, I think it's very interesting because there's a lot of blame to go around on both sides, but in the end, he's the one that chose the respect. And you'll find later on, in the last few seconds in that video, she's saying the same thing. Well, didn't you come out here for me? And he's like, yeah, I thought I did, but you're acting like this. So clearly, she put the standard on him that he needed to come out there and he was going to treat her like a lady the entire time. And so in she, in her masculine presence, in her flame, is trying to forge a man. Now, he would clearly be a Brother Earth, and trying to forge this man to be the frame that he does not fit in. You can see that's not him. So the real question is why, one, would she take on such a weak man if she wanted a man of strength and honor, if she wanted a man of integrity? Why would she take on that man? Is it one, because she can't find that man? Those men are everywhere. Is it two, because she wants a man like this? These are the men she feels comfortable around. These are the men that makes her feel, in a sense, a level of superiority because she has to raise him up, shake him in place like a boy. The question you have to ask yourself is, why are the men, as women, why are the men that are attracted to you? Is that the energy you're putting out there? Are you actually putting out the energy of challenge and submission, that you want a man who's greater, who's stronger, who's loving, who's a husband? Or are you putting the energy out there that you want a boy that you need to raise, and thus attracting the same energy each and every time? Men, your perspective is one of solidity, balance, foundation, earth. Your boundary is your boundary. First off, he was clearly upset about the fact that he drove a half an hour out the way. Sir, if you are uncomfortable driving a half an hour out the way, that is your prerogative. That's quite all right. You have every right to be upset about driving a half an hour away. What man doesn't understand that? You're going to drive 30 minutes out the way when she can drive herself, when she could have met you halfway. You're going to pay at least $200 for her to have a good time. And at the end of the night, hope that she maybe takes you out again. I get it as a man. As a gentleman, we think, I don't mind coming to pick you up. That's great. I don't mind paying for this meal. That's expected. I don't mind having a good time and telling you good night until another time, because that's just debonair. That's me anyhow. But also there's a balance. Yeah, odds are wherever you're meeting me at, you're meeting me. I'm actually, in this modern day age, not going to pick you up. That's me. I'm going to meet you there. And where we meet, it's going to be closer to me than it is to you, for sure. Yeah. Because I'm gonna give you a choice of three options. Which one of these three places would you like to go to? If you can't decide, you have one chance only to decide. Then I make a decision. There's no going back on that decision. That decision is final. We go. I'll meet you there. This saves a whole lot of problems, gentlemen. One, it sets your tone. It sets your honor. This is who you are. One, you align to the man that you are. When you compromise on your integrity, you compromise on who you are at your heart, at your deepest core, the way that you walk straight, the way in which you maintain your sanity, that's a break in the integrity of your foundation, of your concrete, the concrete that is you. You're allowing cracks in that when you compromise on who you know you are. Don't allow people to push past your points of comfort and knowing who you are. So you say, I know the cost that I'm paying here. I know the company that I'm giving. I know the exchange that I'm having. I know the value of myself. So knowing that what halfway looks like, knowing what fair is, do what's fair. You don't always have to be the Prince Charming. You just got to be Prince Realistic. You can be husband realistic, and that's completely fine. Gentlemen, these are ways in which you protect yourself, your heart, your integrity, and also, man, your sanity, brother. There's a lot of men out here losing their minds because they're just overwhelmed and overthinking, over strategizing. You have to know who you are. Your straight is what people respect. People respect you not because of the things you agree to. They respect you because your boundaries. Where you say, this is enough. This is my line. And this is the way that I go straight. So what that man could have done is said, I'm not comfortable driving 30 minutes out. And she would have then said, well, if you're not comfortable driving 30 minutes out, then you're not the type of man I want to date. It was nice to meet you. Goodbye. No time is invested. No more time, no more energy is invested. She can tell her friends her standard was set. He can tell his friends she was too high or she was too whatever he wants to say. And they go their separate ways. Now, neither one has trauma. Neither one has issues. Neither one is sharing that negative energy. You're just adult about it. She doesn't work for him. He doesn't work for her. That's fine. Know that it all comes down to accountability. You can't just run out here, gentlemen, and say it's all her fault. I held up my chest. I held up my integrity. Yeah, but you could have chosen from the very beginning to be a better man. Why did you wait to this point? You did the right thing in the end. And as a woman, you could always say, oh, well, as a woman, she needs to set her standard. I understand that. Yes, but you could have set your standard from the beginning. Each one teach one, each one reach one. We can all learn from each other just from changing perspective, adjusting perspective, understanding where we can do better, solving problems before they even become issues. It's right at the door. Check it at the door. Check that coat, those muddy boots at the door. That way we don't have this negative exchange and we continue to rise in love and appreciation of one another. It's not hard to do. We just got to listen and understand. I love you. I want you to win. I love you. I want you to win. Listen to each other. Understand perspective. Stay 10 toes down on your integrity, on your honor, on your boundaries, on respect. Don't put any energy into filming someone when you can save that energy to growing yourself and evolving who you are as a human being in this world. Because we need you at your highest, at your best. You are so valuable and so loved. I can't wait to see how great you are. Thanks for joining. Have an amazing night. And sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm going to